Hello legends. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your very own Claude AI agent in n8n. And the point of this video is to try and recreate this experience that you get in the Claude chat app, where you can have conversations with the Claude 3.7 model, you can do web search, and actually you have access to the extended thinking capabilities of Claude. And that's thanks to the Think tool. So the Think tool actually improves Claude's complex problem-solving performance, like I said before, because it gives Claude the ability to do extended thinking. So the Think tool is actually native to Anthropic, which is the provider of Claude. So when you're using like a Claude 3.7 model with the Think tool, you've got a very, very powerful agent. So in this video, we're going to be building out the Claude AI agent. We're going to be using the Claude 3.7 model for the brain of the AI. We're then going to have access to web search. And actually web search is only just recently possible as of the 8th of May. So Anthropic, which again is the provider of Claude, they introduced the web search on the Anthropic API. And this just means that when you're chatting with Claude through like n8n or any other developer mode, when you're using the actual API, you can do web search as well. So this node actually unlocks your AI agent to be able to interact with anything on the web. And then finally, we have that Think tool, the same Think tool from that article that I just showed you. So the beautiful thing is that the Claude 3.7 model, in addition to the Think tool, is going to be extremely good at problem solving and just double checking that it's doing the right thing. And then later in the video, I'm going to show you a super easy way to create a prompt for your Claude 3.7 model, where if I click this open, you can see there's a little button over here that says this prompt will be used with the model that has thinking enabled. So that means that when we're using Claude 3.7 and the Think tool in n8n, we're going to be able to create a prompt specifically for that unique setup. So I'm super excited to get started with this video. If you're watching right now, I'd appreciate if you dropped a like or a comment or even subscribe to my channel, and that kind of engagement will help push this video out to more people. Okay, so let's start with a blank canvas and build this thing out from scratch. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just go on the plus button, go into create a new workflow. Let's save this just so it's saved for myself for later. And now the first thing we want to do is we have to figure out how we're going to be interacting with this agent, and we're going to do that using the chat node for now. So the chat trigger will let us actually interact with this agent directly in this workflow, but exactly what we build out here, you'll be able to just like slot it into your different workflows in n8n. I would say that you should test out this agent quite thoroughly using the chat trigger and just understand what it's good at and what maybe it's not good at. Just hot off the press, I would say it's probably not good as a website chat assistant, just because when you're using the Claude 3.7 model, in addition to the actual Think tool, that combination is going to take the agent a little bit longer to respond. So I'd probably really only deploy this for workflows where it's not real time, or it can kind of wait a little bit of time to process, like customer support or like creating marketing content. So the next thing we're going to be putting onto the canvas is the AI agent. So let's go to AI agent, and now let's actually start building out the Claude 3.7 model. So in order for us to use the Claude brain, let's go to chat model, and up top, let's click on Anthropic chat model. I've already got my account created, but let's go ahead and create another account. So I'm going to go down to create new credentials, and I'm just going to go to open docs. So you can just follow along on your canvas as well with what I'm doing here. Now you're going to have to go and create an account on the Anthropic console. So Anthropic, once again, is just a provider of Claude. And in order for you to be able to use Claude outside of that chat environment, so anywhere outside of here, if you actually want to deploy it in an API or like a standalone app, then you need to make an account on this on the console.anthropic.com website. And I'm just going to link that in the description of this video. The first thing you're going to want to do is go across to your settings and just add some payment information, load up like $5 of credit, and then you'll be able to actually use the API. Then the next thing you want to do is go across to get API keys, and then up the top right corner, click on create key. Let's call this Bart-n8n. Let's hit add. Let's copy this key, hit close. And now back in n8n, let's just paste it into here. And now let's hit save. Perfect, so it's green, and that just means that the API key was successfully configured. So we're able to use the Claude brain now. And if you do want to, okay, so just for later, let's remember that this is actually called Anthropic account 4. So you can change the name of this account when you're creating the settings, but later on, this is actually just good to remember for us. So now if you go to the models list, you can drop down and choose any other model that you like. I'm going to stick with 3.7 Sonnet. And now let's just test this out and make sure we have a conversation with this agent. So let me just bring this canvas to the right-hand side. Hi there. And now we're going to get the chat message processed by the AI agent, which is using the Claude 3.7 brain. Hello, how can I assist you today? Awesome. So that was step 1 done. Now for step 2, because we are using a chat agent, if you did want, you can just click on the memory tab and click on simple memory. Simple memory just allows you to actually have an ongoing conversation with context. Okay, there we are. So we have simple memory, we have the Claude brain, and now for our first tool, we're going to be both using the think tool and the HTTP request to make the web search. So I'm going to go on HTTP request tool, and actually, as of the most recent update for n8n, the HTTP request tool has slightly changed in how you configure it. So what we want to do is actually go ahead to the Anthropic article, which is about introducing the web search on the API. And if we scroll all the way to the very, very bottom, all the way down here, we have this little link to the documentation, and that's going to take us to the API documentation. Here on this page, you can scroll through and you have all the information about how to set up the API call, which is what we're going to be using in a second, some other parameters for the API call, and actually I want to call one out right now, and that's allowed domains. So the cool thing with this is if you're doing web search, you can actually just make it web search your own specific, like your own website. And then any information that the agent pulls from the internet is only going to be for your website. So let's say you're building a support agent, you don't actually have to create a RAG database. You can just plug it into your website and have all the information from there about your products, your services, your shipping information. So that is really cool as well. That's a really cool feature. And yeah, you can kind of scroll through here and just see some other bits and pieces about this API. But really what we want to focus on is this curl request. So curl request is just like a specific way of writing the API call out. And all we're going to do is just literally copy this entire request, again, in curl. So I just press this button here. And that's important because when we open up this HTTP request node in n8n, just going to zoom in, the most recent update has this feature where you can import the curl request. I'm just going to paste it into here, exactly what I copied before. Click on import. And now it literally built out that API call, filling out all the different bits and pieces. So it's a post request, the URL, we have the header for our API key, the header for the Anthropic version, and then the body of the API call as well. So this is superb. It's such a time saver. The first thing I want to do is just change the name of this to web search. And that's because I'm going to be using the web search name when I'm defining the tools in my prompt. And I'm just going to say, use this tool to search the web. Nice and simple. So now if I just scroll down here, we've got a header for the X API key. And this just means this is our authentication to be able to interact with the API. So we can either go back into the Anthropic console and then go to API keys and create a new API. But what we really want to do is just remove that header because we don't need it anymore. And if we go to this authentication tab, since we created the authentication before, we can go on predefined credential type, type in Anthropic, and then your account is going to be pre-selected here. So we had Anthropic account 4. That's why I mentioned, I'm like, hey guys, let's remember this. So now we actually have the authentication through this little settings over here, and we didn't need it for the headers. Now, the next thing we want to do is over here, this is the body of the API call. So we're noting that we have the model of the API call that we're using, so Claude 3.7. We've got some other like, how many tokens do you want for the response? You can restrict it. And I think this is around just different configurations for like how many pages do you want to browse and stuff like this. The main thing we want to look at is actually this question. So this is a default question that will be asked if we hit off this API, and it's how do I update a web app to TypeScript 5.5? We actually want to make this dynamic, so when the AI agent, the Claude agent, fires off this API call, it can dynamically insert the question to be able to browse the, actually online to browse the web. So I'm going to go squiggly bracket here, and I'm going to say web underscore search underscore question and end squiggly bracket. And now previously in different API nodes, when you introduce this is called a placeholder. There used to be a setting here that says add placeholder and placeholder definition. So with the latest update of the HTTP node, you actually don't have that. So the way to get around that to actually dynamically insert this question is you have to copy this to Control C, and then you have to backspace. Let the model decide. So let the model define this parameter. And then underneath it, we now have an additional setting, which is called add a description. And if we paste that into here, let me just zoom out and expand all this. So now what we're doing in this API call is we're saying, hey, Claude agent, you have the ability to dynamically insert the actual JSON body for the API call. And what it's going to do is literally look at this placeholder and it's going to say, oh, okay, this is where I have to put the question. And then it's going to insert the question here, and it's going to leave everything else the same. Now, if you did want to go back into the web search tool, if we just scroll down, if you do want to introduce something like allowed domains or blocked domains or any of these other like different parameters, you can introduce them directly into the API body, like what we just did in that small description section, or you can plug in the API body into ChatGPT or even Claude and just say, hey, can you rewrite this API call to do X, Y, and Z for me? So if you're not really, confident with the JSON, you can just plug this and copy and paste it into a Claude agent. Now back in n8n, this is everything for us configured. So if I just scroll up, everything looks good here. I'm going to click out of this page, and now I'm going to go into the agent quickly and just set a very basic prompt to basically test out that the API call for web search is working. So I'm going to go add option system message. Let's just zoom in here a little bit. Use the web_search tool to search the web for answers to questions. All right. So now we've defined for the model that, hey, you can actually use the web search tool when you want to search the, when you want to search the web. So that's pretty obvious there. Let's bring it off to the side. Let's go on to open chat. Let's refresh this. Let me just pull this up so we can see the chat. We can see this agent also working. And what is the weather in Melbourne? Let's hit send. So now we're hitting the agent's hitting the brain to think about, all right, what do we need to do? It's then hitting the web search API, which is awesome. That means that this is working. And you saw how easy it was to use the import curl request. And then since we already had the authentication from the brain model, the entire process was very, very easy. Now, this is taking quite some time to return an answer. And I think that's mainly because the parameters we set are probably just looking for a bunch of different information. So we could probably slim out the parameters to just not look at so many different sources of info. But while we're here, just a quick point is, right now, the three main web search tools that you can use are, well, the Anthropic web search, the API. You also have the OpenAI API for web search, which is the ChatGPT provider. And then you also have Perplexity. As often as possible, I would actually use, if you're using the Anthropic web search, use the Anthropic model, because these will go hand in hand and they'll be actually optimized for each other. I wouldn't do something like Anthropic web search and then the ChatGPT web API. And then different to these yet again is the Perplexity API. So there are some resources around what differentiates the three different API calls, and specifically like why would you not use the Perplexity API here? Like why would you use the Anthropic API? And I think that's largely to do with how the models are configured, and exactly like the Perplexity API, I'm pretty sure is more on like a case-by-case investigation basis where it returns a specific information for a specific question, whereas the web search for Anthropic might be better tuned for the Anthropic model. So I don't know too much about it just yet, but there is some difference, and that's why I would opt to use the model and the same model provider API. So scrolling up here, we had the response based on the most recent information in Melbourne, Australia. It's 17 degrees and partly sunny. So this is pretty awesome. And yeah, that's awesome. So now the final thing we want to do is actually introduce the thinking mechanism. So I'm going to go on add tool, and in my tools, I'm going to go on think, add the think tool. And now we have the ability to do more complex problem solving. So like I mentioned before, in order for us to create a really good prompt for this, we're going to go across to the Anthropic console. And we're going to be using this little chat window here. So just so you know, again, when we came into here initially, we went to get API keys to get the API key. And now we're going to go to generate prompt. So I'm going to just preemptively select this. This prompt is going to be used with the model that actually uses the thinking tool. And my prompt is going to be create a prompt for a website chatbot assistant. It uses the web search tool to browse the web. I'm going to keep it very, very easy. And let me just click this button again. I think it was unselected. And this prompt will be used with models that have thinking enabled. So now when we click generate, we're going to get a full prompt ready to be used by Claude 3.7. And we're also using the think model so that now we're going to be able to have like a really deep, complex problem solving model. So I'm just going to copy this entire thing. Awesome. Back in n8n, let me just zoom in a little bit. Let's go into this AI agent, double open. I'm just going to paste it directly into this system message here. Now let's open up and see what's going on. So you're a website assistant. Your role is to help users by answering questions and providing information. That's awesome. Now let's introduce the website name. So the website we're going to be using is my e-commerce store, which is julko.com. Now, I also want to mention that in the OpenAI documentation for how to write prompts and also the Anthropic documentation, so ChatGPT and Claude, both those providers, they actually mention when you're inserting dynamic variables, like this could have been dynamically a website. In this case, it's a website description. They always use XML tags to define the start and the end of the actual variable that you're inserting. So website underscore name, this denotes the start XML tag. Then in between here, and then you have end website underscore name, and that's denoted by this /. So yeah, whenever you're introducing dynamic variables into your prompts, XML tags is actually what's recommended by Anthropic and ChatGPT, so OpenAI, and that's why we have it here. So website description, I'm just gonna actually remove this website. I don't need this for now. I wanna keep it relatively basic. And then web search query is dynamically inserted here, so that's fine, I'll just leave it. I'm not gonna change too much actually. And now here's an example interaction. So I'm just gonna backspace this because we don't need the example. What we need is, here is the, actually we don't actually need this at all. I'm just gonna remove this as well. So now let's remove this. And the reason that I removed the actual, here is the example interaction, that typically is in prompts where you put like, here is the dynamic message from the user, respond to this message. So I've actually removed that because that dynamic message is gonna be inserted here where we have the prompt for the user message. And this JSON.chat input is just the message that we're receiving from the chat interaction that we're having. So the user message is already basically inserted into the prompt over here. And then we have the Claude generated prompt over here. So now everything is ready. Let's give this one final test. I'm gonna open this to the side, click on open chat, and let's actually just refresh this. And now let's say something a bit more complex. So I'm gonna say, what is the weather in Melbourne? And based on that information, what do you recommend I wear? So let's just hit send and let's see what happens with the agent. So the agent receives the input. It automatically uses the brain to decide, all right, what do we need to do here? It hits the API call for web search to actually return the results of what is the weather. And now it's coming back to the brain to do some more thinking about, okay, how do we approach the second part of this question? And then we hit the think tool to just confirm, okay, here is the weather, this is what we want to wear. Is this suitable for the actual weather that we have as well? So then there we are. Let's actually look at this response. Let me bring this up and zoom in a little bit. So based on my search, the current weather in Melbourne is between 13 to 17 degrees. So it's a little bit colder and it's a little bit windy as well. So for today's weather conditions, I recommend wearing a bunch of layers, a light jacket, some medium weight pants and jeans. So this is basically saying, hey, it's a little bit cold, you should kind of rug up as well. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching to the end of this video. If you're here right now and you haven't already, can you please drop a like? Can you drop a comment? Bring up some of the engagement in this video. Let me know if you like this kind of build, and then let me know exactly where you think it's going to be, where you're going to be inserting it into your workflows, like for customer support, for creating marketing content, or for other like document processing. Like, let me know use cases that is interesting to me. And then finally, if you're not a subscriber of my channel, but you're watching this long, I'd appreciate if you hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you guys. See ya.